Hello, hello, my friends. A very fun video today. I am going to be sharing with you my first fall haul with caramel sundaes. So this is very exciting for me because I actually started shopping from the brand back in November of 2024. So I actually haven't really been purchasing from them for a super long time. I do know that the business has been around for about 5 years now, but they're still kind of new to me. So last year when I purchased in November, they were I think they had already released some Christmas fragrances. They still had a couple of fall fragrances in the mix. In fact, one of the candles that I purchased is actually a repurchased fragrance that I had last year. So I'm excited to have it back in my collection. It's just as good as I remember it being. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one to share with all of you guys. I did purchase all of these candles on my own. Caramel Sundaes does not do PR nor sponsored videos. Just wanted to put that out there. But this is just a small business that I really, really enjoy. Their 100% soy wax formula. You guys know I tend to be a soy wax lover. If you're new to my channel, that is the wax that I tend to like to burn in my home. I like that it's clean burning. And the other thing that I like about this brand is that they are non-tox. That's something that's kind of important to me as I am in a stage of life right now where I'm going to be having some hormonal shifts. And I also have 2 teenagers and a preteen. So I don't need anything else making things any more complicated in my house than needs to be. And of course I have a husband too. And you know, it's funny, I've noticed as he's gotten older, sometimes he gets a little bit more sensitive to fragrance. So we've just got a lot going on here, but this brand does work well in my home. So I'm very excited to share with you guys what I purchased this last go around. This restock happened, I think it was like June 28th. Yeah, it was, because that's my mother-in-law's birthday. And then they are not doing a July restock. However, they will be doing their restock for more fall and Halloween fragrances will be available on August 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think a couple of these fragrances are also going to be available again in this restock. So I am going to do my very, very best to try to get some dedicated post-burn reviews done for you guys prior to the next restock. But that's enough with that intro. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about these candles. So I picked up 4 4-wick candles and then 5 of the giant 4-wick 40-ounce vessels. I know, you guys, I went a little bit crazy. I've always told you guys, anything that I make on my channel, a lot of the time I set that aside to go ahead and reinvest back into my channel, and I mean it. Clearly, that's what I'm doing here. So let's go ahead and talk about, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the first candle here, which was initially not even on my wish list, but I had a couple of other people reach out to me on Instagram. I believe that they had purchased this fragrance initially from Saltbox Lane, and it got to them and they said, ooh, this one's really, really good. You're going to want this one. So this was like my last minute addition. This is the fragrance Pumpkin Coconut. So Pumpkin Coconut has fragrance notes, top notes, pumpkin spice, roasted coconut, mid notes of vanilla cream, base note of sea salt, and musky caramel. Now these 2-wick vessels, they are about 18 ounces of wax and they retail for $31.99. That does include the shipping on it. So, oh man, this fragrance, you guys, this is really good. This is almost like it's a creamy pumpkin. It's more of like, I wouldn't necessarily say a full-on white pumpkin like what you get at, like, say, Bath and Body Works, but it is more of, I would say, like, if you're going to look at the fragrance family, it's not your, it's more of a creamy white pumpkin note to my nose. But I detect a little bit, it's funny, the roasted coconut in here adds a little bit of, this is not like a summertime fragrance at all to me. But it lends a little bit of like a twist on it. I think the coconut lends more creaminess to this candle. I get pumpkin spice for sure in here. Vanilla cream. Yeah, it's a creamy one. Sea salt and musky caramel. I could see that in here as well. But yeah, this is really, really enjoyable. My friends who told me, yes, you want to get this one, they did not steer me wrong. This is a great scent. So I have burned it a little bit so far. I've actually been burning it. Most of these 2 wicks I will usually burn in a hurricane. And And so far, I think I've only burned this one in my bedrooms because I like it as kind of a complimentary scent right now. You guys know I just released the Kringle Halloween video the other day. And so I've got a lot of fragrances between that launch, which is coming up, the new fall candles from Kringle, which those almost feel like, hello, like they're already old news, it feels like. And then all of these new fragrances. I have a lot of fragrances that I am trying to get some post-burn thoughts on. So this one so far, I have only burned it in my bedroom, but it's a great complimentary fragrance. I feel like it goes nicely with a lot of other candles. It's not overly like bakery gourmand to my nose, but again, it's a nice creamy pumpkin note, but there's something in it. The pumpkin spice in here is done really, really nicely. It's not too spicy. So far I do like it. Strength and throw on this one so far is around like a 7 for me. But I will keep you guys updated. I don't believe that this one is coming back around though for the August restock. I don't know if it will be back this year or not, but it is a good one. Here's another fragrance that honestly, you guys, this was available in the 4-wick, and I thought, I was looking at the fragrance notes on it and I thought, well, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, I'm regretting a little bit not getting this one in a 4-wick because I love this fragrance. This one will be available in the August restock. This is Fall Gathering. So Fall Gathering has fragrance notes of top notes of peach, spice, and warmth, mid notes of berries and cinnamon, base note of clove and spice. So, okay, this one, I think the reason why I wasn't sure about getting it in the big one was because it had some of those fruit notes in there, like peach and berries. And berries can be very like, I don't know, is it strawberry? Is it blueberry? Is it cranberry? What is it? I don't smell strawberry nor blueberry. I would think that the berry in here, it might be a mix of say like blackberry and cranberry, I'm thinking. More of an autumnal type of berry, I would think. But this is really good. This is really nice. It's not really like a gourmand, like a nothing bakery about it. This reminds me, it almost in some ways kind of reminds me of like little boutique craft shops or like boutique antique type of stores. Like when we go up to the mountains up in eastern Arizona, they have a bunch of little, you know, just there's like certain places that they sell like a bunch of little like Christmas decorations and fall decorations, and they all have like a certain smell when they go into them. It's that like very cozy, inviting, warm vibe, but the fruit notes in here give a little bit of sweetness to it. But again, it's not like summertime fruits. It's definitely more autumnal type of fruit fragrances. Yeah, you get some of that cinnamon, the clove, the spice. They list spice in here twice, but it's not overly red hot cinnamon. It almost just reminds you of like maybe like some spices simmering on the stove. Oh, it's really, really cozy. Again, I wish I would have gotten this one in a 4-wick because I love burning this one. I've burned it twice now. Again, so far, first 2 burns, I'd say that this one has been about a 7 for me. Strength and throw, but I do say this a lot with caramel sundaes and soy wax in particular. I do find that sometimes these candles take about 3 or 4 burns for them to really start to come to life for me and to really like fully develop into their like full strength potential. So that's why I'm not giving like a full, you know, post burn review on it yet. But this is one that I will make sure that I have a dedicated review on prior to the August 10th restock, because I do know that this is restocking. I don't think it's coming back in the 4-wick, but it is coming back in this 2-wick. And so far, based off of my experience and the fragrance itself, I could see myself wanting to purchase at least one more of these. If anything, not to necessarily keep for this year, but that one is just a very, very cozy fragrance. I find that, I feel like that one is like, I don't think anybody's like not going to like it, if that makes sense. Like it's just, there's something about that I think anybody would smell that and they would be like, oh, this is just so cozy and inviting. Okay, here is the one that also was kind of like a last minute addition. Sierra, the one of the co-owner of Caramel Sundaes, she and her husband John own the company, said that this was one of her underrated favorites, and she was really talking this one up. And I thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. This is the fragrance Autumn Jam. So Autumn Jam has fragrance notes, top note of apple and citrus, mid notes of cranberry and spice, base notes of wood and dried clove. And again, this one's nice. Now, this is definitely more cranberry in here. I do like the way that Caramel Sundays does cranberry. Their cranberry note this is really done nicely. This leans a little bit more sweet cranberry than it does overly tart. But I also think some of that sweetness is coming from the apple note at the top. And whatever citrus, the citrus might be like a lemon, but it's not a lemon or maybe orange. Probably a combo of lemon and orange, maybe a little bit of bergamot too. But oh, this one's good. This is really good. Sierra, you are not wrong in this. I do see why this is an underrated one. But this also has like a spiciness underneath it. Now, this is not, I don't smell as much like cinnamon and spice in this one as I do in Fall Gathering. Dried clove. I do smell some clove in here. And there is a little bit of like a woody element to this. Not like, the wood isn't like firewood. It's not even like, when you see a wood note, sometimes people think like, oh, that's a masculine fragrance. No, not anything like that. I feel like if you tend to like cranberry fragrances in general, then this is a good one. I don't believe that this one is going to be offered in the August restock. However, I have heard, I think it's the fragrance Hocus Pocus that they are going to be offering. I think I've seen some commentary that people say that Hocus Pocus is maybe a little bit darker, but is very, very similar. Is it like maybe like a sister or a cousin? It's in the same fragrance family as Autumn Jam, but this one really good. I actually want to burn this with a couple of like some of the pumpkin type of fragrances. I think it'll be a good one. And then another fragrance that I decided to purchase. Now, this I believe is going to be available in a 4-wick. Is this one going to be available in the 4-wick? I think so, on the August 10th restock. This is Coffin Cake. Now, this was not available in a 4-wick during the last restock. Otherwise, I probably would have purchased this type of fragrance in that 4-wick because this is totally 100% my jam. So Coffin Cake, we have fragrance notes, top notes, pumpkin spice, brown sugar, frosting. Mid notes, cinnamon and clove. Base notes of butter, cream, vanilla, and nutmeg. And here's the thing, you guys. This smells very similar to their iced carrot cake candle that they had back around Easter time. Although I would say that I think this is a little bit more heavy on the actual cake note as opposed to like the frosting. I don't get a ton of frosting in here. This is just a very, very nice spice cake fragrance. I actually really enjoy this. I actually like this one a little bit better than their iced carrot cake. If you love a good spice cake fragrance, then this is going to be the one for you. There's no cream cheese frosting. So if you're wanting to say like, well, what about Bath & Body Works carrot cake, their sweet carrot cake, different fragrance, because that one has more of a cream cheese frosting element to my nose, a little bit more brown sugar in it. This is spicy. It smells like cake, but not a ton of frosting in it. This one's really good. Again, this one pairs really nicely with some pumpkin fragrances. I could actually also see myself burning this with Kringle. I still have one more of their Easter carrot cake candles in my collection from this year, and I plan to burn those together because carrot cake fragrance to me, spice cake, I know that like those come out around the Easter time, but I've always thought that that's more of like a fall scent to me. But again, this one's good. This I burned the other day as well, and this was actually pretty strong. Now, I did burn it in a hurricane out here in the open concept, but on first burn, this one in a hurricane was about an 8 in terms of strength and throw in this 2-wick. So really, really happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and move these down below here. Okay, and then I have these 5 4-wick candles. So let me go ahead and start out with the candle that is actually a repurchase for me. I did recommend this candle to you guys in my wish list video for the June restock because I said I had had it before and I really love this fragrance. It is the fragrance Cranberry Pistachio. I do also like on these 4-wicks that they went back to this label for the 4-wicks. You'll notice that they're a little bit different than some of the 4-wicks that they've had recently. I like this. I feel like this is just a very classy, kind of neutral look. I really like it. So Cranberry Pistachio, or Pistachio Cranberry. Oh, see, it's funny. Here it's listed as Cranberry Pistachio, and I wrote it down as Pistachio Cranberry. Cranberry Pistachio. Top notes, sweet cranberry. Mid notes, vanilla cream, almond, pistachio. Base note of vanilla bean and sugar. Now, I will tell you guys, my favorite pistachio fragrance from Caramel Sundays was their oat milk and pistachio fragrance that they had in a 4-wick. Goodness, probably 4 months ago now. I loved that fragrance. John and Sierra, please, please, please bring that fragrance back. It's so good. It's like perfect year round. That is my #1 pistachio fragrance from Caramel Sundays. I've made it no secret that I think that they do pistachio the best out of all of the brands that I have tried. However, this is my #2 pistachio fragrance because I get the pistachio in here. There is a little bit of creaminess and nuttiness to it, but the cranberry note in here, again, because they do cranberries so well, the balance of them both is just beautiful. Now, funny thing is that I actually like burning this fragrance more so like in January. I could also see myself maybe burning this like in November or even right now, I guess. Like it's kind of one of those like transitional scents for me. It doesn't necessarily scream one time, like a certain time of the year at all. So if you're not a seasonal burner, if you're more of a mood burner, like my friend Wanda here, oh, this one's really, really good. Now these 4-wicks are a little bit more pricey. They do retail for $64.99, but you are getting 40 ounces of wax here. And this, I do find that if you have a more open concept style of home, you have larger rooms that you're burning candles in, I do find that I get a little bit better performance from the 4-wicks. That's been my personal experience. But I do still find even on the 4-wicks, sometimes I have the same experience where like it takes like 2 or 3 burns for the candle to really, really get going in terms of the strength and throw. But I do really, really love this fragrance. And so even though I'm not really planning to burn it right away, I knew that I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to have a 4-wick of that fragrance in my collection. Now let's go ahead and talk about a fragrance that is coming back. I think that this one's going to be available in a 2-wick for the August restock. This is the fragrance Dad's Pumpkin Pie. Now, I do believe that this fragrance is inspired by John's father's pumpkin pie recipe. They say, I think that it smells like the pumpkin pie that he would make. So we have fragrance notes here of top notes of ginger, allspice, and cinnamon, mid notes of pumpkin, brown sugar, and nutmeg, base notes of clove, molasses, and vanilla. So I've burned this one 3 times now, and I'm going to tell you guys, this one really has come to life for me. Okay, here's the thing with this pumpkin pie fragrance. This is probably one of the most authentic pumpkin pie fragrances that I have smelled, meaning this smells like I am actually baking a pumpkin pie in the oven. Like if you're walking into somebody's home, say like on Thanksgiving or any other fall gathering, and somebody is still baking the pumpkin pie, I get a lot of, this is not overly spicy. There's nothing really artificial about it. I actually get a lot of crust note in this fragrance. That's what my nose detects. It's definitely a more savory take on pumpkin pie than it is necessarily sweet or spicy. I like it. I really haven't smelled a pumpkin pie fragrance like this before. It's kind of, it sounds funny. It's like a very neutral gourmand type of fragrance. Like I said, very authentic. I feel like this is the pumpkin pie fragrance that, how would I put this? Like their Bakery on Main fragrance is like the gold standard vanilla gourmand for me personally. I feel like this is like what Bakery on Main is for like year-round vanilla lovers. I feel like this Dad's Pumpkin Pie is going to be just such an authentic, neutral pumpkin pie fragrance where it's not going to be too spicy. It's going to complement a lot of other fragrances that you currently have in your collection or that I currently have in my collection. I really like this one, but like I said, it's more of a savory pumpkin pie note. It almost like reminds me of just like the pumpkin. There's part of me that like it reminds me of the pumpkin pie filling when it's still warm. Like it hasn't cooled yet. It's just freshly baking in the oven. Really, really nice fragrance. Strength and throw on that one too was a good solid 8 for me. So that one is doing pretty well. Now here was my #1 priority candle that I wanted to get. This is Toasted Pumpkin Crunch. We have fragrance notes, top notes of clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, mid notes, pumpkin, sugar, and buttercream, base notes of smoke and vanilla. So here I'm going to tell you, first and foremost, I get a tiny little bit of smokiness to this, but it's not like firewood smoke. It's not even smoky. It's not smoky like a bonfire. I think the smokiness to this lends a little bit of, I don't know what it is, like something, but it's not your typical smoky scent. I don't know. I said that word a lot. What I get in this now, this is a spicier fragrance. I definitely smell those top notes. What is it? Of the clove, the cinnamon, and nutmeg. You get that combo like off the bat. It's definitely spicy. Where I was gonna say that like that Dad's pumpkin pie actually pairs really nicely with them because that one's a little bit more savory, whereas this is definitely, it's spicier, slightly sweeter. I think the smoke note that they're listing there with the, what is it, vanilla? Yeah, smoke and vanilla in the base. I'm trying to describe what that smoke note is doing in here because again, to my nose, if I were smelling this, I wouldn't be like, oh, there's a smoke note in here. I think what it's doing is it's kind of amping up the spiciness of this candle. But the mid notes of pumpkin, sugar, and buttercream, there's sweetness to this as well. This one is like sweet and spicy, and the Dad's pumpkin pie is savory. So you've got like those 3 S's going on, right? That we all kind of are looking for, how we would classify a lot of food groups. But this one's really, really good as well. I burned this one twice, again, getting really good performance out of it. But I do like it. I'm going to have to burn this one a little bit more. I don't think that this one is coming back in the August restock, but hopefully they'll bring it back again this autumn because I do feel like it's a very popular fragrance. Okay, then let's go ahead. Okay, this again was another one that was a last minute addition for me. I initially was like, no, I already have a fragrance very similar to this in my collection, but I thought, I heard what it was being compared to, and I was like, that is one of my all-time favorite fragrances. Even if I don't get through it all this fall, I will definitely, use it at some point. And it is the fragrance Always Autumn. Always Autumn has fragrance notes, top notes of Gala apple, juicy fig, mid notes of eucalyptus leaf, base notes of fir balsam. And the comparison that a lot of people made this fragrance to is Bath and Body Works Autumn, which at this point we still have not seen. That fragrance return to Bath and Body Works, but this one is so good. It does definitely smell like Bath and Body Works Autumn. Kringle has their candle, the Autumn Amber. That one also smells like Bath and Body Works Autumn. And I love pairing this type of fragrance with leaves. My husband and I say that there's something about this fragrance that is just, I think it's because I've always burned this candle. Bath and Body Works Autumn was around for a long, long time. And because I've always loved it, I've burned it throughout the years every fall. And so even my husband was saying that like this reminds him of like when our kids were a little bit younger and we'd have people over for football on Sundays. And there's just like some nostalgic memories tied to this that aren't necessarily childhood memories. They're more like our earlier years of marriage memories. And so I think that's why we really like this one. But this is good. You get apple, you get some of that eucalyptus, but it's not like spa eucalyptus. The fir balsam, this is a very like fresh kind of outdoorsy, but you've got the sweetness of apple and fig in here. Oh, it's just beautifully done. So really excited to have that one in my collection. And then the last fragrance that was new, it was being hyped up. Sorry, you guys, I got a hair in my mouth there. That is not fun. Is the fragrance Apple Truffle. And I'm just going to tell you right now, oh, this one, John and Sierra, bring this one back. This is fantastic. So Apple Truffle has fragrance notes, top notes of apple and warm oats, mid notes of butterscotch cream, base note of cinnamon sugar. And this to me, I can't even this is like an apple gourmand lover's dream. You get a little tiny bit of that cinnamon sugar note in the base. It's apple. It's very much probably like, it's baked apple. It's very like gooey sweet, not overly sweet. Little bit of tartness to that apple, almost like an apple that you would use in a caramel apple. Maybe a little bit like a Granny Smith, I would say. Those are a little bit more tart. Probably a mix between like a Granny Smith or a Macintosh here. Oh my gosh, this is so good. The warm oats in here, again, they do, you guys know I love that oat milk and pistachio. Like when they mix like warm oats in a lot of their, as a fragrance note, there's something about it. This fragrance is just so warm and inviting. It's like mouth watering. I haven't lit this one yet, but oh man, this one is so good. This is the fragrance, again, because it's not making a return for the August restock. I'm like, okay, I have to prioritize burning the ones that I know I need to get some post-burn reviews done for you guys prior to the restock. But I tell you what, once I get those post-burn reviews done, I'm like, okay, then I'm going to be burning that one, because that is such a good fragrance. But also that is very much like a quintessential September fragrance for me. I tend to burn apple fragrances towards like late August, early September. And so I'm thinking that might be one. I know I won't be able to hold off on doing it until then, but this is a fragrance that I could see myself burning once I get back from my trip in August, as well as that Always Autumn. So what I have purchased so far, I am highly, highly impressed. They're literally, you guys, I did not get one fragrance in this time that I was kind of like, oh, like I'll burn it, but like I don't really love it, you know, because that happens to us sometimes, especially when you're blind buying a lot of these. These I legitimately like. I am excited to burn every single one of them because they all smell so good to me. So anyways, you guys, let me know if you purchased anything from the Caramel Sundays fall restock. Are you looking forward to their Halloween release? I do see, you know, they've already got some of those up on their website. They also have their list posted over on Instagram, so you can check that out. They have one, I think it's called something cider, something with cider in it. And I've heard that somebody asked them in one of their story, like they will post Friday questions and people ask their questions. And I think somebody asked, is that like Cider Lane from Bath and Body Works? And they said, yes, it's very similar. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to need like 5 of those because I absolutely love Bath and Body Works Cider Lane. That's one of my other all-time favorite fragrances. However, I know that it's back at Bath and Body Works this year, but it is in that dark colored wax. And I don't know, I can't remember if I've mentioned this, but my friend Greg over at All About Candles, he has mentioned the same thing, that he has noticed that the dark colored wax at Bath and Body Works does not perform well for him. Like he's like, it gets sooty, it gets dirty, it gets the puny wicks. And that has been my experience as well. So that's why I've held off on buying any Cider Lane. It's also an online exclusive. And then when I saw that Caramel Sundays has a fragrance that is very, very similar to it, I'm like, well, I'll just purchase it from them then, because I do love that fragrance and I have been missing it for quite some time. So that's one that's on my list. I will compile and put together a list prior to the launch to share with you guys. That launch is going to be, I don't want to say tricky for me, but I will actually be heading out to Boston the week after. Sorry, I hit my mic. I'm going to be heading out to Boston the week after that, or like a couple of days after that launch. So there's part of me that's like, ooh, I need to make sure that those candles get delivered and brought into the house, because it is still very, very hot here in Arizona and I don't want melting candles. So anyways, you guys, I am starting to ramble, which I tend to do at the end of my videos, which is usually the sign that I have said what I needed to say. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. If you are interested in seeing any post-burn reviews, I will also probably have an empties video coming up for you guys later on this week, as well as I think I might do a candle chat, because again, I've already started burning some candles and I want to be able to give you guys some post-burn thoughts on some of these most recent launches from various brands. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.